You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
If you prefer real mornings, shouldn't you have a real breakfast? At McDonald's, we get real about breakfast. That's why you can have a savory sausage biscuit with delicious hash browns for only $1.50. It's time to wake up breakfast. Single item at regular price. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Not to be a backseat driver, but can you say for sure you got the best monthly payment possible on your auto loan? Could it be that you might have gotten a better deal by shopping the loan at a few places and have a lower car payment? Next time, before you go car shopping, visit Communication Federal Credit Union first. Our auto loan experts will find you a perfect loan and get you the lowest monthly payment we can. Communication Federal, your auto loan experts. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop-up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, and drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you. See you, see you.
Why isn't it showing me in a call with you?
Ready to stand out, Army ROTC prepares you not only as a college student, but as a strong leader, allowing you to earn the rank of second lieutenant. You will be eligible for full tuition merit-based scholarships and develop leadership skills essential for your future. Start strong and enhance your college experience. Visit your campus Army ROTC representative today. To find out how you can earn up to a full tuition scholarship, visit goarmy.com/podcast to locate your closest ROTC program today. Army officers inspire, strengthen others. Paid for by the United States Army.
Maybe this is not my right
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
I don't know what account I was logged into then. No, I know it just made me set up this account like it was brand freaking new. Well, add this account.
Today, you're pathetic.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
And I almost forgot. Anyway, so yeah, we're here. I promise. We're live, Gremlins and all. The Whatever Show right here live on KLRM Radio. We are the opening act here on Chat Lives Matter Night. Lineup changes. There will be a conservative curmudgeon show once I finish with Stacy, but it will not feature G. He actually will not be back until next week. We're about to lose his iHeart syndication though, so I'm gonna go hang out on his brand for like an hour. Yeah, and there will not be a red wine tonight. They tried to get a pre-record together, and it didn't work out in time. So we're gonna do that next week because I have some things I have to figure out to make that airworthy. They're not the only ones that do it though. I have lots of people that are like, "Hey, can you do this?" And it's 2 hours before they're supposed to be on, and I'm like, "I can't," because you didn't give me any time to clean it up. Anyway. So, yeah, excuse me while I'm over here banging my head against my desk. Yeah, that's my head. Okay, I'm done venting now. How are you, Stacy?
Oh, I'm fine. How are you?
Probably have a headache in about 20 minutes or so, but right now I'm okay.
Yeah, well, apparently I just learned I have 2 different Skype accounts, which I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, it threw me off at first, too, because I tried to
I'm logged into one on my computer and one on my phone, and, I'm like, oh, I'll just log out of Skype, and you can call me right back, Rick, and we'll see if this audio thing goes away. And then I pulled up Skype, and it's like, who are you? And I'm like, what? What just happened? All I did was quit Skype. And then it's like, oh, yeah, that's not you. We don't know who you are. I'm resetting passwords, and then Rick called, and I'm just like, I'll just pick it up on my phone. It'll be fine.
And it's a completely different account. And I'm like, wait a minute.
It's a completely different account. And I don't know how to, I don't know what, I looked on my phone. I'm like, yeah, that's the name that I used. Why is, what is going on? What is going on?
I will say your Avi on this account's giving me a bit of PTSD.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because it has a certain logo right in the corner.
Yeah, I know.
Although
I remember when we all got blocked because G made that meme.
Well, yeah. So speaking of which, an interesting little update about DC's favorite CPAC bellhop. Apparently he has call letters on his Facebook page that don't actually carry his radio show, which I thought was interesting. Because I checked the schedule, he's not on
his Facebook page.
I can't, except for on the new one that I created, because he hasn't found it yet.
Oh.
So I was like, wait a minute, I can see him. And it says, W something, 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 9 p.m. Eastern Sunday night, so I went and looked at the schedule.
The dude thought I was going to write his biography for free. Okay?
Dude, don't even get me started. You're half the reason he was ever on Fox News.
Yeah, I know. I'm half the reason he got, op-eds in the Washington Examiner, too. Oh, because I wrote them, but never mind.
Yeah, no. Yeah, trust me, I'm well aware of your ghostwriting skills, because you offered to do the same thing for me when you first started. I'm like, no, I'm not going to, no. It's like, no, because I'll either get there on my own or I won't, but I'm definitely not going to even give anybody the hint that I'm going to put you through the same shit he put you through. So, no.
No. It's just, it's crazy.
Yeah. Interesting that we started the show talking about liars and cheaters, since that's what's been all over the news today.
Right?
It wasn't even intentional, but it kind of fed into it, because it's what's been all over the news today. So do you like Hunter Biden's little press conference on the opposite side of the steps?
I can't. I can't even with that dude.
Oh. They are trying to turn my father's love to darkness. Ask your sister about your father's love, bro.
Oh, dude, don't even go there.
It's the first thing I thought. I'm like, it's a good thing I'm not writing anywhere today, because I would probably get fired. Oh, I can't with this. And the funniest thing about all of it, though, is how much the story just keeps changing. I know that I know not everybody, that listens to the show is ever set in an interrogation room, but when the story keeps changing, that's not a good sign. I mean, don't get me wrong. Especially if it's something, that you're recalling from months ago or years ago, there are going to be slight inconsistencies. But when it goes from, my father didn't even know any of my friends, to my father had dinner with my friends, but we didn't do anything else, to my father has had no involvement in my business, to now my father has had no financial involvement in my business. Yeah, y'all are lying, and you're about to get caught, which is why you're both being uber cranky. Just saying. Well, that and Joe has sundowners that fires off whether the sun's down or not. Can you imagine if Donald Trump had talked to the press corps the way Joe Biden talked to the press corps? I think it was it yesterday or the day before when Zelensky was sitting in the Oval Office and the press started screaming questions, and he's like, "Just simmer down a minute." Like, what now? You really do sound like a grandpa at this point, Joe. And I don't mean that in a flattering way.
Yeah, I don't mean it in a flattering way either.
Anyway. So I was kind of surprised to see the unanimous Republican vote for the impeachment process to actually officially start, which I kind of thought we were doing that already anyway. Because didn't we decide we were going to do it without a vote under the last guy? Did we have to start over when they fired the last guy? Is that what happened? I'm kind of confused.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway.
I legitimately, Hunter Biden, didn't we already also decide that we were going to do an impeachment inquiry, and today we voted on them?
Well, yeah. So, that's kind of what I was talking about, because, we decided in October. I think it was October. It was right around. It was pre-Israel. That much I remember. That they decided that they didn't need to do a vote because Nancy Pelosi did one without a vote, and then they started calling witnesses, and then the left had a field day because the Republican star witness said that he didn't feel there was enough evidence for an impeachment, and of course that's where they cut all the video and the audio at. They left off the last sentence where he specifically said, "But I do feel there's enough evidence that an inquiry should begin so we can see what else might be here." And AOC did it again today. Sitting on the camera, grinning like the fucking Cheshire Cat. Well, even the Republican star witness said there's not enough for an impeachment, so I don't even know what we're doing. It's kind of the point of an inquiry. This is the investigation phase. The only thing I know for sure, the reason why they said they kind of backtracked and did this officially with a vote is because apparently it now makes the subpoenas more binding or some shit. I don't know how a subpoena can be less or more binding. But
right? Well, I think because the Congress has actually voted on it, he has a different obligation to respond to it.
But yeah, all I can say about that, though, is Hunter Biden should have just came in and did the depositions today. Because if he had, there probably wouldn't have been a across-the-board Republican vote to look into impeachment. But that pissed everybody off, so all that did was make it worse. But,
I mean, it's just I love the whole thing. They violated my privacy. Dude, there were pictures of your penis all over your computer, and then you left said computer at a computer repair shop for a year.
But Stacy, that stuff that they're looking at on that hard drive isn't the original hard drive. It's a clone of the hard drive, and we don't know what they've done to it. Yes, I've heard this is what I've heard on every liberal news outlet all day today, because I listen to them so y'all don't have to. Because it's kind of my job, whether I want it to be or not. And trust me, lately it's been really hard to do my job. Because I'm just like, remember when we were there was a company that was putting out bricks that you could, like, the foamy bricks that you could just throw at shit when you were pissed off, and we were trying to get them to be sponsors. I really wish they would have been sponsors, because I need like 1 million of those right now.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying, I need like 1 million of those right now. So then I could just haul off and throw one at my TV, and worst I could do is knock it over. Instead of breaking it completely. Because, now all the stands are flimsy as shit, too, so it wouldn't really matter. But I don't know. I mean, there's just so much going on. I just, like, even Harvard now. I'm pretty sure if Suits ever gets rebooted, that it's not gonna be about Harvard Law School anymore. Because I don't think, I am pretty sure everybody's gonna steer as far away from Harvard as possible. Because now it's plagiarism for thee, but not for me. Like, wait, what?
Well, the thing about this whole situation is simply this, okay? Dr. Gay, really? That's her name? Anyway.
Apparently. Because,
Dr. Gay
she's completely happy or something.
Is everything that's wrong with affirmative action / DEI. Like, 99% of people alive under the age of, 90, don't really have a problem with working with people who look different than you. You just want some idea that those people are qualified. With the advent of affirmative action in DEI programs, that question mark is always above people's heads. That's where the problem lies, and stories like hers just reinforce those questions. Like, she's everything that's wrong with the whole DE&I complex.
Well, so the interesting thing, right, is she's kind of the culmination of everything, but I had no idea how long the dumbing down of Harvard's actually been going on until Jesse Waters played a clip from when he was doing the O'Reilly Factor back in the day and was interviewing Harvard students that didn't know basic questions about U.S. history. I mean, we're talking, this is like 7-8 years ago. I'm like, really? Are you kidding me? Harvard? I mean, how long has Harvard been on a downward spiral and we just didn't know? Because everybody's like, oh, I went to Harvard. Man, nobody cares anymore, dude. I'm gonna go to this junior college over here, save a ton of money, and not be made fun of. So,
right?
How about you? You do you. I'll do me over here, and yeah. It's actually kind of become just a standard insult anymore. For the last 3 days, anytime anybody says anything stupid, especially if I see they have doctor or something in their title, I'll be like, "You got your degree from Harvard, didn't you?" That's just
I don't know. But now for some true Stacey rant, okay? I'm done with Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, he's kind of back on my do not watch list too, so I get it.
Okay, so first we had the Tate brothers. Dude, you have daughters. Would you want any one of your daughters dating those dudes? If not, you probably shouldn't give them air. Just saying. Just saying. Okay? Then he supports Candace Owens in her feud with Ben Shapiro and her anti-Semitic bullshit. All right? Now he has Dana White on there telling us we should all drink Bud Light because apparently he and Kid Rock have been bought off. Right? So we're going to end the most successful conservative boycott because Tucker Carlson has actually gone on Megyn Kelly and said he's now Sucker Carlson. That's his word, not mine. And that he's just all in on Trump. He's nothing but a Trump apologist at this point. So he has the nerve to interview Candace Owens and say that the vaccine is the most important issue of our time. And he's out there being a shill for the guy who funded it and still says it's an amazing accomplishment. Okay? So basically, you've just told me on another nationally syndicated podcast that you are now a shill. Do you know what I don't listen to? Shills. I don't listen to Steve Bannon. I don't listen to Dan Bongino. I don't listen to Sebastian Gorka. I don't listen to people who cannot make valid criticisms even if they support someone. And I mean, Tucker Carlson is on record calling this man a joke less than 6 months ago. What happened? Was it money?
The check cleared. That's exactly what happened.
Well, I mean, like legitimate. So now we're going to be all in because you somehow believe Trump will end the war in Ukraine, which he won't. He said if Putin won't play ball, we'll just send him more weapons. Okay? He makes no apologies for what happened during COVID, which you're right, that is one of the big issues of our time. How do we make sure it's never going to happen again? How are we going to hold these people accountable? There will be none of that with Trump. Like, where I think, and, you know, he says he's going to close the border. He said that last time, Tucker. And he never got anything through Congress, and the border's not closed, and we have this problem that he never fixed the first time. Why do you think he's going to fix it the second when he's a lame duck on day one? You literally wrote a book called Ship of Fools and said the reason you wrote it was because, my God, we elected Donald Trump. That should cause some introspection. Now you're walking into WWE events with him? Or WWF? I don't know. Which one does Dana White own? I don't watch any of that shit.
He doesn't. Dana White owns UFC.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Whatever. He walks into one of these things like with the soundtrack, and I'm like, really? This is your thing? Wow. I used to think you were an interesting thought leader. Now I think you're just a shill. Oh, I'm not paying for Tucker Carlson Network. You know, what are we going to have? You know, Candace Owens on Monday nights at 8 for Blame the Jews. And Andrew Tate, How to Treat a Woman, How to Manage a Relationship.
Dude, you know? I was in an argument on
Jones brought to you by Disney? I mean, come on.
I was in an argument with a Tate bro for like 3 hours yesterday just for fun. He kept asking.
There's nothing to Tate bro about. He's an asshole.
He kept asking me what color my Bugatti was. I'm like, I don't own one. Is that your only question?
I don't own a Bugatti, and if I had to like abuse women and make them perform porn on the internet to get one, I probably would still not have one.
Yeah, I mean, it was this whole thing of, you know, he got into Zelda's feed about something, and I just finally had enough of it. And I'm like, look, dude, I was like, if you're using Tate as your example of what a real man is, you need to figure some shit out, because that ain't it. And then he just kept coming at me. And I'm like, dude, whatever. Yeah, it was, I hadn't really been on Twitter much lately, so it was kind of nice just to throw punch somebody over and over again, because they kept coming back. But as far as Tucker Carlson being thought-provoking, he still is. You just got to change the spelling. It's T-H-O-T. Because now he's, you know, all about the clicks.
I guess, but it was
and
just
the check
like...
clearing. It's so sad, though. I mean...
It is.
Well, I mean, honestly, I've always kind of... I kind of wondered the same thing about Cuomo, right, though? Because on CNN, Cuomo was a dick, and he can't tell me otherwise. Now he's over here on News Nation, and he's LARPing a moderate really, really well, and it's kind of fucking scary. I've watched him off and on since the debate, because I didn't even know what News Nation was till the night of the debate. So I've kind of watched him off and on just to be like, was that like a... Did he know there would be lots of conservatives watching, so he was LARPing? No, he's actually doing moderate shit, like, really, really well. He's decided he's a journalist again. It's kind of scary. But I honestly have also kind of always had questions about Carlson.
Well, I mean, do you ever think that's maybe who he was and just CNN made him that way?
And well, that's kind of what I'm wondering. But that's kind of the same thing of I'm wondering if that's not the reverse of what's happening with Carlson. Because everybody forgets he got his start on MSNBC. I think when he got the job at Fox, he went hard right because they made him, and now that he's off on his own, he's just like, fuck it, I'm doing it my way, and it's going to be shit.
But I mean, he wasn't even hard right. He was relatively heterodox, which is why I liked him. He had Tulsi Gabbard on. He had Glenn Greenwald on. He showed there were places that we can agree with people who consider themselves liberal on basic principles if they're like of a certain age. Like, he was demonstrating there is still common ground with some people on the other side. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I wonder how much of that was because he
grew up
wanted
working
to, and
for
how
the
much.
Heritage Foundation. He always came from the right. MSNBC, he was doing that like crossfire thing with Rachel Maddow.
Yeah, but
Do you know what I mean? It was a back and forth kind of thing, but I never thought he was like hard right. I always found him to be more heterodox and kind of he would say things like if you were born when we were born, you're like, "Yup. Yup. Yup. Oh God, I'm not the only one seeing this." Like his monologues used to make me feel sane. And I didn't find them to be hard right because I'm not hard right.
Well, you know what I mean hard right by MSNBC standards, not hard right standards.
I'm just saying,
but anyway,
lose all of that. Like he basically took his credibility with me, believing he was a heterodox thinker. I mean, he brought Bill Melugin to like national attention. Bill Melugin was an Fox LA reporter. Now he's like standard reporting on Fox News. Like he brought a lot of people up that were doing good reporting, and he did good reporting. His Tucker Investigate series was great. His Tucker Carlson Today interviews were interesting and had a really wide range of people. And now I'm sitting here watching this and going, what? I mean, they put his stuff on Fox Nation so it was behind a paywall so he could do what he wanted.
Oh,
I mean, he interviewed the president of El Salvador and all that. Like, I don't know. Is his inner anti-Semite just coming out now?
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of people seem to have one that I didn't think we're ever gonna, actually have one. It's kind of weird.
Jason Whitlock. I can't stand the sound of his voice anymore. Candace Owens. I mean, she can't stay at Daily Wire. I mean, I think the guys are probably just not going to offer her a new contract. They're not going to fire her because they just won't. If she doesn't want to work there, she needs to quit. And my guess is that whole interview with Tucker was like, she wants to go work for him. And please do. Let's get all the bullshit anti-Semites on one channel, please.
Yeah, and then we can just not watch. It would be awesome.
Then we can just not watch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I've always kind of had a love-hate relationship with Carlson because when the right was really starting to try to push for criminal justice reform in the right way, he was one of the first people screaming and yelling that it was going to be abused, and that was actually, it pissed me off for a while, and then he turned out to be right. But I don't know. I don't know. I just think at some point when you've done it for as long as he's done it, at some point you start chasing the recognition instead of doing it for the right reasons. So I don't know if that has something to do with it. I just, none of it makes any sense to me because he already had enough of a following that he could have monetized through X and done pretty much whatever he wanted to do and been good.
No, I know.
And so it's not like he needed the check from Trump or whatever the hell it took to make him a slurper. And yeah, I said what I said.
He said it.
Well, no, he said sucker. I said slurper.
Well, the same basic. You could make a pretty gross image out of either one of them. Go ahead, type it into AI. Or Carlson. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been having a little bit of fun with the AI stuff lately too. So, because it can pretty much make an image out of anything. But yeah, I don't know. I just know that right now I just feel like it's gonna be, just the same old crap. I mean, it's like everybody's like, oh look, they're finally doing impeachment. What good's it gonna do? It's gonna go, even if we impeach, it's gonna go to the Senate. Nothing's gonna happen because they're not gonna vote to remove unless we can manage to push it out till the next election cycle and actually manage to beat the steal. Because that's the other thing. Have you seen all the shit coming out now about all the? They're like, oh, look at all this voter irregularity. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. And I'm like, where was this shit 3 years ago? Kind of might have been able to do something with it 3 years ago. Can't really do much now, except for maybe fix it for next time. But nobody wants to do that either. So yeah, it's been hard for me. As hard as I fought to get to the point where I'm doing all this full time, it's been really hard for me to do it for like the last month because I'm just like to the point where I'm just like, none of it even matters. Because everybody just does whatever the hell they want to do anyway, and none of it even matters. That's like him. I mean, he specifically went to the other side of Congress because if he had done what he tried to do on the actual entrance to the House side, the Master at Arms for the House could have drug him in there. Which is why his attorney told him, go do this on the Senate side, and then they won't do anything to you. You can say what you want to say and blame them, and just tell them, hey, this is all their fault. They're making my dad out to be an asshole, and I told them that I would come do the public hearing. And I don't know. He's claiming that he was given a choice of either or. I don't know, because that's not usually how it works. Normally they do that. It's just depositions first, because that gives everybody time to get their in-depth questions answered, do all the fact checks and everything else, because by the time it gets to public hearing, you've got 25 Republicans in the committee that each get to ask him 5 minutes worth of questions, and then they get to grandstand for the rest of the time. So, I don't know. I just know that I'm tired of all of it. I'm tired of the news being all Trump all the time. I'm tired of the news being all Biden all the time. It's like, can we just, can we fix what's broken?
I'm just like, I'm over the polls. The polls are a psyop, guys, just like they've always been. Just like the pop polls that told you we had a 99% chance of Hillary Clinton winning, okay? These people want Trump to be, so the Iowa polls, you get reported, Trump at 52%, DeSantis at 19%, and Haley at 16%. After Iowa's very popular governor has endorsed Ron DeSantis, right? I mean, she won in a similar landslide to DeSantis. And if you look at the poll detail, 50% of those voters are willing to change their mind. You're not ahead by 30 if half the people are willing to change their mind. And there's no way in hell that Nikki Haley is gaining on DeSantis in Iowa after the last debate and after Reynolds' endorsement. They're just lying to you. Some of these polls have a response rate of 1%. There is no one going to the caucuses in Iowa who is a Nikki Haley fan. It's just not a thing. You are talking about a hotbed of evangelical Christian conservatives who go out in the dead of winter to do this caucus thing. Okay? Those are not Nikki Haley fans. They're just not. I don't know who you're polling, but they're not the people who are actually going to show up. Trump going to beat Biden by 10 in Georgia? I live in Georgia. I live in a county that went 70% for Trump. You know how many Trump signs are in my county? 2. Okay? After shoving Herschel Walker down our throats and giving us 6 more years of the good Reverend Warnock, all right, and 6 years of John Ossoff, we're not all that high on Mr. Trump. He took our red state and made it purple.
Fun times. Fun times.
Does anybody believe he's beating Biden by 10 in Michigan? Where's Al? Even Al doesn't believe that. Like, these polls, like, look at the response rates. Look, it's just, oh my God. And guys, Trump is not getting 30% of the black vote. Just stop. That's not going to happen. At best, minorities are going to stay home. They might not love Biden, but they are not voting for a Republican. Like, that's the thing that the media, let's like really fascinate all those boomers and tell them we're finally going to get the black vote. That's not happening. It's not. Anyway, that's my little rant on the polls, especially the Iowa one. That one's just absurd.
Yeah.
It's just absurd. Like, literally, Ron DeSantis could have 100,000 verified by DNA caucus goers saying, I'm going to caucus for Ron DeSantis, and they'd still give Trump a 30-point lead. They give him a 30-point lead so that he will win in Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina, and then the Monday after Super Tuesday, he's going to court. Y'all better start thinking about who our number 2 is and make damn sure it is not Nikki Haley, because that appears to be what she's running for at this point.
Yeah. Well, you know, she's already pretty much number 2. Oh, wait, never mind. My bad.
I'm like, and would Chris Christie please drop out? Okay, Sununu did not endorse him. That was his last chance to win a single state. He's not going to win New Hampshire. Just drop out. If your stated reason for running is to stop Trump, let the people who might actually be able to do that take a shot at it. Seriously.
I think the only other reason he stayed in for as long as he has is because he gets to promote his book.
What book?
Did you not hear him at the last debate?
No, I didn't.
He has a book.
I tuned him out.
He has a book coming out in January.
But after the last debate performance, who believes Nikki Haley is going up in the polls? Other than like the Lincoln Project and the people over at the Bulwark.
Up and down on a poll? Maybe, but up not so much.
I love her. And the Tea Party the only thing the Tea Party pursued was taxed enough already and the repeal of Obamacare. They wanted to reduce government spending. Nikki, you didn't do that in South Carolina, and you want to go to war on 3 continents. You're not going to do it either. So what exactly did the Tea Party work towards that actually got accomplished? Nothing. Okay? And it had nothing to do with the kind of social conservatism that so many of us are looking for in fighting places like Disney and Bud Light and the DEI complex and disgusting books in our schools and all of that kind of stuff. You're soft on all. You took the Confederate flag down instead of arresting the bitch that climbed your flagpole.
Well, the Confederate flag is triggering.
You're soft on abortion. You're soft on this DEI bullshit. You're soft on woke corporations. You took money from BlackRock. What about you, says Tea Party? What about you, says conservative? Nothing. You are a Bushy. The Bushes want you. Sununu wants you. He's not a conservative. He is a Bush-era conservative. His family grew up under the tutelage of the Bush family. And you'll know how scared they are of Ron DeSantis if Jeb Bush actually has the nerve to fucking endorse him, because that is not the candidate the Bush family wants. They want Haley. Everything Trump world said about DeSantis, who's funding them, whose endorsements they get, et cetera, is true about Nikki Haley. And they're like giving her a pass, and she might become the number 2. And if your boy goes to jail, what's the RNC going to do? What's the base going to demand? I don't know. It's a freaking mess, and the only way you stop any of that from happening is making sure someone else is the nominee. We have Trump going for a 20-week ban. We have Trump not doing anything for accountability on COVID. We have Trump and his stand-ins, Kid Rock and Dana White, who are basically like Trump adjacent, going, oh, drink yourself some Bud Light. It's not such a big deal. The most successful conservative boycott in history, with Target now being number 2, and they wanted to just forgive and forget because they got bought off. You know what? I'm going to Nashville in a couple weeks. I'm not going to Kid Rock's bar. And I love Kid Rock. I love his music. I'm not going.
Aww. But it seems
What?
like it'd be so much fun, though.
I've been to his bar. Do you know his bar implemented all the COVID regulations?
Yeah, that's why.
So I went to Kid Rock's bar. when Loftus was doing a show at Zany's in Nashville with my girlfriend, she got up to dance. You could sit jammed together at the bar with your mask off. As soon as you stood up, you had to put your mask on, and you weren't allowed to dance.
Fun.
We almost got arrested because she started dancing. I'm like, really? This is Kid Rock? Yeah, I'm not going to his bar. Apparently, Dana White and Kid Rock are okay with men replacing women. They're okay with dudes being in your little girl's locker room. Caitlyn Jenner shows up at MAGA events.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Trump put out that bullshit video, I'm going to stop this, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Why
You were
running,
saying what you wanted voters to hear because DeSantis had outperformed you with conservatives once again. That's it. You're not going to do any of this. And you're out there, I'm going to make a deal with Democrats, and I'm going to do a 20-week ban. A 20-week ban lets go 99% of abortions, so you've done nothing. The most significant accomplishment of your presidency was repealing Roe versus Wade and putting it back to the states where it belongs. And now you're going to make a federal law, which is basically prohibited by Dobbs, that erases the progress in Mississippi, Georgia, Florida, Iowa, Texas. Really? You're going to roll back pro-life legislation in states that have been able to pass it, where governors, by the way, have been reelected. For what? To not save a single unborn child.
He's trying to snag the left vote, Stacey.
Dude, Democrats are not going to vote for you because you still appointed the judges that got it overturned in the first place. You appointed the judges that smashed their shibboleth of the damned. They are not going to forgive you for that. So stop kissing their ass and start kissing the asses of the people that brought you to the prom in the first place.
I don't think it's their asses he's kissing, but that's just me.
I'm just saying, stop sucking up to people who hate you. They're never going to vote for you. And start appealing to the people who got you in that office in the first place.
He knows that most of the people that got him into the office in the first place don't really want anything to do with him anymore, which is why he's trying to reach out to other people.
That's not true. Yeah, no, when he started backing away from the abortion thing and everything else, he lost evangelicals, and they were a huge constituents of his.
Yeah, well, I mean, he lost the rest of them. A lot of the evangelicals already had a problem when, the 91 freaking charges started showing up.
Well, I mean, anybody, I don't even have a problem with most of those. They're just bullshit political stuff.
Yeah, I do find...
I have a problem with his rhetoric. I have a problem with him running from the left. I have a problem with him going on absolutely no outlet where he's going to have questions come from the right. The only one that he did was Megyn Kelly, and it was a disaster for him. She didn't treat him any different than she treated the people on the debate stage. She was tough but fair, and now he can't stand her again.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Oh, I know. It's insane. It's insane. And another thing, Republicans in the House, stop your nonsense, okay? You're not going to put forth a bill that's actually going to remove the presidents of Harvard and MIT because that's not your job. What your job is to hold these universities that receive federal funding accountable, tax the endowments, and then start making them back the student loans that the student body has to take, so that they stop running bullshit programs that people can't make a living from, and they actually start admitting kids that are going to be successful. That's how you change the university culture. You make them put their money where their mouth is. Period. Bunch of them are like, we're going to put forth a resolution to say that these people need to be fired. Not your job. Not your job. Your job is to make sure that taxpayers aren't funding this bullshit. So do that. Do that instead. Oh, bless your heart.
Well, I mean, to be fair, though, tyranny is not just a left-leaning kind of thing. These people all like to do the tyrannical overreaches anytime they have a chance, and they feel
I understand that, but let's do something that actually matters. Just one thing. And I know Biden's not going to sign it, but it would be amazingly popular with the American voter. And then you would say, if we had a Republican president, we could get it passed. And reconciliation or something else. Like, it's just, there's so much that we could do. So much. And none of it will get done because we'll get 4 more years of Donald Trump, and then there will not be another Republican elected, probably in my lifetime.
Well, I mean, if the left's predictions come true, it will have a Trump emperor, and it won't matter. It'll be
okay, except nobody really believes that because he's already been president once and he left office. They said he wasn't going to leave office too.
Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest. I think the reason they were saying that is because they know that's what they would do, and I'm pretty sure we're about to find out whether Biden's going to leave willingly or not. Anyway. So apparently Trump is speaking in Iowa right now. I was not aware of that. So.
Yeah, I don't care.
Fun time.
He's speaking in Iowa because he's losing in Iowa. His internal polling is not what you're seeing in public polling.
Yeah, I don't know. We have a much better option, and seems like nobody cares. It's really disconcerting. So I do have one kind of feel-good story as we start getting towards the end. We got a late start, so we've got a few minutes, but I figured this was kind of a feel-good story. Did you hear about this one? The Turkish lawmaker who had a heart attack on Tuesday after calling for Allah to bring his wrath on Israel?
Yeah, no, that was pretty funny. Sorry.
That was kind of heartwarming. I was like, oh, look, he played FAFO with God. Don't do that.
Yeah, no. And did you hear the other one?
What was the other one?
Elon Musk is going to start the Texas Institute of Technology.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, go ahead and do that acronym.
Yeah, it's TIT. Just saying.
Yeah, but he's actually starting a primary and secondary school in Austin, Texas, focused on STEM, and he's going to roll it into a university.
Nice.
Yeah, everybody's really mad.
Well, of course they are, because if he starts doing his own school, he can do away with indoctrination. So,
well, he's putting $100 million into it.
Well, as long as it doesn't turn out like Trump University. Just saying.
I think in Texas it'll actually be accredited and all of that. Texas Institution of Technology and Science, TITS.
Okay, they really just need to go all in on that, and have a picture of the school on the front, on the back. The tagline should be "Show me your tits."
Yep.
I'm just saying, they need to go all in on that. They would make a fortune on the merchandising alone.
Well,
Elon, if you're listening, I just made you another $1 billion.
Right? I'd buy that t-shirt. I'd buy that t-shirt.
We should probably figure out a way to get one done real quick before he does his own. Put the KLR logo radio on the front. This shirt is in support of the Texas Institute of Technology and Sciences. Show us your tits.
Yep. Show us your tits. It just makes complete sense that a really, really smart dude with autism would end up with that acronym.
I'm honestly kind of surprised he didn't figure out a way to work X in there. Dude seems like he's kind of fixated on the letter X. But, I mean, if you're autistic, you have two fixations. Especially if you're male. The letter X and tits. So I guess he still figured it out.
There you go. I don't get the letter X part, but
I don't know. It's just kind of it's something that a lot of people on the spectrum, they usually fixate on like a couple of letters of the alphabet, and for some reason, for guys, it's especially when they're younger, it's like the letter X, and then eventually they outgrow it. He seems to have never outgrown it.
okay.
I don't know, but it's weird. But yeah, one of the hosts we used to have on here back in the day had Asperger's, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I have a fascination with this letter." Like, that's weird.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, the schedule's
I
wrong.
think it's got to be better than Harvard, right?
Yeah, I don't know why the schedule's wrong, but the schedule's wrong because for some reason they have whatever's listed for tomorrow on the schedule, and that's not right. I don't know what happened.
It used to be on Thursday. Now it's on Wednesday.
Well, no, it was going to be. It was on Tuesday. I thought, was it?
I
thought it was Tuesday. Before.
I thought it was on Thursday. I don't know.
Anyway, I don't remember. Shit, I've moved so much shit around. It's like I had this bright idea starting November 1st. I was going to do a morning show. Then we started babysitting an extra grandkid. Now I don't go to bed till midnight, and I haven't been able to get up at 4. So yeah, I guess it's going to become an afternoon show now. I'm going to wait until after the first of the year.
An extra grandkid?
Well, yeah, one of my other grandkids has been coming over. So yeah, and this one's more nocturnal. So her mom doesn't usually get off work and come grab her till almost midnight. So I'm past the point of being able to do the 4-hour naps. So.
Right there with you, friend.
I used to be able to do it. I used to be able to do a 2-hour nap and then get up and power through another 20 hours or so. But yeah, I can't do that anymore. Can't do that anymore. Especially because I'm trying to do like 16 different things all at once right now.
Oh. Well, apparently now the National Association of Scholars president is coming after Dr. Gay.
I mean, was she gay before, or did she only become gay after she got her doctorate? Oh, wait, never mind.
I don't know. Is she gay? I have no idea.
I mean, I'm assuming with a last name like that.
Well, sometimes your name is an unfortunate coincidence.
Yeah. I don't believe in coincidence.
Yeah, well.
Alright, so yeah, we still technically have about 7 minutes left, and then after this there will actually be a conservative curmudgeon, but I will be filling in for G because he's not available again until next week, and we need to put something out in this brand. There will not be a red wine, so I'm going to go tell the runner to steam, and then if there's a few minutes left, still see if Ordy wants to come back and do stuff at 10 Eastern for the nightcap, but I haven't done my morning show all week, so I have tons of things to talk about anyway. Because, yeah, it's going to become an afternoon show now, but probably not until sometime in January. Because I'm going to try to use the next 2 weeks to start getting the website and stuff built for the news agency that we're about to start. That I hope to have live mid-January, beginning February. Did I mention I'm insane? I don't know. I semi-retired and then put so much work on my plate half the time I wake up in the morning and I have vapor lock for like an hour trying to figure out what I'm going to do first. I have so much to do. Where do I go first? I'm insane.
Well, nah, you're just working.
What were you doing last month? No, waking. What are you doing this month? Waking.
Right?
Kind of exactly how I feel, because I really didn't do much at all last month, because I got super sick and was like down for almost the entire month, and then I think that's another reason why I feel so overwhelmed this month, because now I'm trying to play catch up on every damn thing, and I'm just like, And then I got used to, going to bed by like 9, 10 o'clock, getting up at 4, getting show prep done, finding the stuff I was going to write about for the day, doing the show, writing a couple articles, and then going to do whatever else I needed to do. And then it was, Dad, I got a new job and I can't find a babysitter and I don't know what to do. Can you? Sure. Bring them over. And then my whole schedule got turned around again. Yay, fun times. Yay, fun times.
Well, life comes at you fast.
Yeah, pretty much. So, is anybody else weirded out that, we have like the worst economy ever, but the Dow Jones just closed at 37,000 points?
Well, yeah, that's because they didn't raise interest rates.
Well, I'm surprised they didn't, but I'm glad they didn't, because they're trying to fight this inflation like it's normal inflation. This isn't normal inflation. This is inflation that we caused. And if we start trying to treat it like it's normal inflation, it's gonna fuck everything else up, and it's gonna be bad. Which is why when they've tried to raise the interest rates a few times, they've tried to use them, it hasn't fixed anything, or raise them, it hasn't fixed anything. Because you can't. When it's inflation created specifically because we pumped a bunch of billions of dollars into the market because we paid everybody to stay home, yeah, you can't fight that inflation like you do normal inflation. It's not going to work. So,
I saw just people all day today saying, well, inflation is kind of slowing. Guys, to get into the housing market, a new mortgage monthly payment on average is up 90%.
Yeah. That's not that's not
Rent is up like 40%. Groceries are up overall like 30%. Unless you start to have prices go down, 2024 isn't going to save Joe Biden.
Nope.
People are struggling now. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. Our credit card debt is at a record high.
Yeah, I had an argument.
People are living on credit. That's going to run out, and the bill's going to come due.
Yep, I had an argument with my dad the other day because we were talking about it. And I was like, Dad, just to put this in simple terms, when I first got divorced, I started buying Pop-Tarts by the case because the kids love them, and when I get like a box or two, I have to go get a new box or a new couple of boxes every other fucking day. So I just started buying them by the case. When I first started buying them by the case, that was $11 for a case of Pop-Tarts. So just bought a case the other day. It's now $16 for a case of Pop-Tarts. That's a $5 increase. Well, how much of that's because they just marked it up because they can blame inflation? I was like, that's not how any of this works.
No, it's not. If they could sell it for less than their competitors and their competitor products, they would.
That's not how any of this works.
This is not hard. The guy that can lower their price successfully and still make a profit wins the game.
Exactly, and that's all you hear, right? Even on X, I saw a bunch of stuff today in the last few days talking about how inflation's going down, but the reason prices are going up is because everybody that's selling shit is price gouging now. I'm like, no, they're not. Trust me, they know the lower they can get their price, the more of a chance they have to corner the market. They know that. So they're not going to purposely mark their prices up. Not to that extent. Because they would kill themselves. And it's just this idea that has permeated our entire country that anyone who's making money is just greedy is just fucking stupid. I hate it. Because I have to fight with this with everybody, from the church to Joe Blow down the street. Because, well, the Bible says money's evil and greed is bad. And I'm like, the definition of greed they use in the Bible is completely different than the one you're talking about, right? Because the greed that Jesus was talking about in the Bible specifically was defined as getting money at all costs, including inflicting physical harm. That's the greed Jesus was referring to. When you are willing to go out of your way to get whatever you want by any means necessary, no matter who you hurt. That's the greed Jesus was referring to. The reason it's been turned into this idea that the only way you get into heaven is if you're poor is because that's when the Catholics used to make you buy your salvation. That's why we had a Reformation in the first place. Money's not the problem. What you do with the money is the problem. But the idea that just because somebody's making money, they're automatically an evil asshole is just stupid. Anyway, that was my little bit of a rant.
Right?
Because we're pretty much out of time anyway. Where can folks find you?
They can find me mostly on Twitter at this point.
Mostly on Twitter at this point. All right.
Mostly on Twitter.
Alright, so I'll be filling in for G in just a minute, so we're going to get things reset. There will not be a red wine tonight, so I'm going to go until I run out of things to talk about, and then see if Orty still wants to do the show after, because I haven't heard from him yet either. But we're going to get out of here.
Chat.
He's in, well, I don't have the chat open right now, because I'm looking at the board.
Oh.
Because I have to push buttons, and I can't do one and yeah, anyway. Alright, so I'll be back in a minute when we get things reset for the conservative curmudgeon, even though I am filling in for G. So, yeah, that was not the right button, though, huh? Ha! Guess it was a good thing that was pretty much muted. I was like, wait, that's not the bumper I was playing, that's the other thing. I was like, why is that going so fast? Here I am thinking I'm ready to go, and I wasn't. Go figure. Alright. We are going to get out of here. I'll be back in just a couple minutes. You guys stay tuned. For those of you hanging out in the chat, you'll need to F5 in probably about 2 minutes or so. Bye, everybody!